So, on my 31st birthday, my father said something to me. After the prayers, the well wishes, beautiful things. He said something to me, and I don't want to say it as warmly as it did. He said it so warmly, he said it so kindly, he said it so fatherly. I agreed with everything he had to say that day because they were true. There were things I don't want to use the word suspected about myself. I knew them, but it's something different, something about yourself. And it's a whole different ball game to accept those things about yourself. So let us say I was in denial. But then, thank God my father said it. It's just another new level of self-realization when you're called out, especially by someone that you respect a lot. So thanks to my father, he managed to say it so beautifully well. But then after the conversation with him, I sat with myself and bluntly put down the words for myself. Like, daddy can mollycoddle you, but you cannot mollycoddle yourself, not at your age. So I spoke to myself and I told myself the truth. Now, I'm not going to say the warm version of my father, because I can't really remember what it was, but it was warm, it was beautiful. But let me see what he said. So as bluntly as I not interpreted it, as I wrapped it up to be, he said to me, daughter, your dear daughter of mine, you have no gumption. Yes, my dad said that to me. Not with those exact words, but I truly had no gumption. I want to say had no gumption because ever since then I've been actively working towards doing better and having a better version of myself. Now, when it comes to gumption relating to what I am or what I used to be, it's not about the initiative. I have initiative. My father knows I have initiative. I take initiative in a lot of things. But gumption relates to me in the sense that I give up on things so easily. And the ironic thing about this is that a long time ago, I used to think that this was a strength. Hold on. Now, giving up in this sense is that I cut my losses so quickly and move on. Now, in the soul search that I've been doing, I've come to realize that what drove this attitude from the onset was nothing more than self-preservation. I wanted to preserve myself from hurt. So there were so many chances I had, so many opportunities I had where I just did not give it my all. Another version of myself could have been me just giving my all, but I knew that that wasn't the best I could do. I am realizing that now. I could have done that. And self-exam that I've done, I realized it was just me, as I've said, preserving myself. I don't want to get too hurt. I don't want to get too battered. I don't want to have to open up so well and then it not work out the way I wanted it to. But I'm now realizing that to get to where I need to be, I need to do better. Now, the purpose of this video is that I have realized that this deadly habit has seeped into every part of my life, even down to my spiritual life, in the aspect of prayers. When I pray about a thing and I do not get the answers to them, I have built this self-preservation thing for myself where I drop it and I move on. Now, as a young person, I used to think, oh, maybe God didn't want an answer. Does not want to give me an answer to this. Does not want me to pray about this, and I just drop it. There are so many, there are plethora of excuses that I would give in the place of why I shouldn't carry on. Because every time I had carried on for a while, which was not even forever, It was always me opening up more than I should. And when I come down to earth after that, just used to hurt that I put so much into this, into the love, the reassurance, the hope I did put into this, expecting to get an answer. I haven't gotten it. What I'm trying to say in essence here is that many at times we do tend to give up on things. So in the place of prayer, as I was saying, I don't pray too much for things. Or I didn't. And it's affecting my spiritual life to the extent that when I pray about something and I don't get an answer, I just move on. I want to the next one. I want to the next one. And I'm realizing I just have this backlog of requests I have not received answers to. And then when I go to God, I'm like, God, you're not answering my prayer. The nudge I'm always getting from the Holy Spirit is, what did you do about it? I'm like, God, you know I want this. And it's like, dude, you're not praying about these things. So we just need to do more. Today in church, I told the children, I'm teaching the children's church, and I told them that, I asked them a question really, when do you stop praying? When do you stop praying about something? When? And luckily one of them was able to say to me that until we receive an answer. We want to cut losses because we serve ourselves, because we've tried at it and it's not just working. You know, the best time for you to know to cut your loss, to go, is when you've received an answer already. Until you've received an answer, you have to keep trying. But the reality is that, yes, sometimes there are just some doors that are not going to stay open to you. But when you are in tune with the Holy Spirit, you will know what those doors are. It will tell you what those doors are. And from the onset, you won't even be knocking on those doors. So bottom line of this is that we need to stay in tune with the Holy Spirit. We need to stay in tune with the Holy Spirit. We need to be at one with Him, and we just need to persist more. And we need to work on our prayer life. Now, ever since the birthday, the aforementioned birthday, what have I been doing better? I realized my spiritual life is zero when it comes to prayer. So I prayed to God, thankfully, by the grace of the Holy Spirit, for the strength, spiritual strength really on every aspect of my life. And God has been so wonderful that I have persisted in the place of prayers, like above 2 weeks now, praying about the same thing. Like, I didn't used to do that. Like, if God is not going to answer, on to the next one, on to the next one. And it's not just prayer, you know, it's the things I do. Like, okay, if I'm not getting answers to this, I'm not going to do it. So I'm growing, what's it called now? What's that word? I'm growing a hair, and I'm doing better. And I'm staying at the place of persistence. So something happens. I'm operating with the operation push. Pray until something happens. So this day I pray that you receive the strength that you need for your spiritual journey, for your career, for your physical journey, for your financial journey. And let's just stay until it happens. Bye.